How's it going, guys? I happen to have a match for you against the Enigmatic Fade. It's an RU match. I decided to bring RU stuff. I don't know. I brought Nidoqueen with the rocks, and then I brought Quillfish with the spikes, and then I brought the Parashuffler, and then I just brought some other stuff. I brought a spinner, and then I brought a Durant and Ampharos, because I can. Also, before we jump into this, for those of you that happen to be in the Washington area, more specifically Seattle, Everett-ish area, Linwood-ish area, that kind of thing, I do have that standard tournament that I go to every month. The next one is this Saturday, as a matter of fact, so if you want more information on that, you are welcome to inbox me, and I shall provide information such as rules and stuff like that. Oh shit, I forgot I sped this part up. Anyways, this is my Drudagon being a huge asshole, because this is a Parashuffler. It'd work out better if I had gotten hazards up, but honestly, I don't mind otherwise. I go for a sub very boldly in the Mesprit's face because I know he's going to want his hazards up as soon as possible. And that's kind of what Mesprit does anyway. It just sets up hazards and then does stuff. He gets paralyzed on that second one, which is what lets me Dragon Tail for free and continue Dragon Tailing for some time. I, in a past take, actually narrated this whole thing in regular speed, and I was like, wait a minute. This is a lot of Dragon Tailing. I really don't need to be doing this. Right here, I did Volt Switch. Volt Switching is what he's doing. I did Dragon Tail him into this, which is, it opens up a play where he can Volt Switch, go out into something of his choice to hit me from not behind a sub, but it turns out I just go ahead and sub, and I kind of saw that coming. I prevented that. I kind of thought Steelix was going to break my sub with the Earthquake because it's stab and everything, but I guess I'm underestimating Drudagon's physical defense by a little bit, or, you know, Steelix's offensive investment, as in it shouldn't really ever happen unless you're running Sheer Force set, which I haven't seen in some time, if ever. Anyways, getting near the end segment of this thing, I finally stopped Dragon Tailing, and I assume I can take him out from that range, and I can't. And I just eat an Ice Beam. Thankfully, because it is only ×2 super effective, I take it all right, and Mesprit is the middle of the road emotion pixie thing, as, you know, in contrast to Azelf, which is the super offensive one, and then Yuxi, which is the super defensive one. Mesprit is just like chill, middle of the road, I'm alright, which explains why it takes 2 hits to take it out with Dragon Claw, but Ice Beam also takes 2 or 3 hits to knock me out, you know, damage variation. It was really dependent on damage variation on that one, especially after lefties. But he's going to go into hit only. I do not want to take a hit from this thing. I do have another physically defensive wall in the form of Quillfish, which is pretty fresh. So I get to go into this, get an Intimidate off, potentially get spikes up, depending on what he wants to end up going for. I was pretty sure he was going to end up being the fake out Unburdened set, but I do see Double Edge here, and it does a lot to my Quillfish. It does over half. I don't know if I actually have anything else to switch out to take, but he just goes for another Double Edge. I believe he ends up taking himself out. If he wasn't Life Orb, or if he didn't go for Double Edge on that turn, you can see by the HP count on that one that he would have ended up knocking himself out with Life Orb had he not gone for that, which is why it's kind of cool to see how close they really are to Life Orb recoil on that. But I only turn on that code after battles, because having it on during battles is really cheap. So he goes for Fire Blast right here. I don't know why he locked himself in on Fire Blast. I assume locked in because all I see on these things are Scarf or Specs, period. I'm assuming Specs right now for some reason, but he just ends up going for it and just knocks me out on the next one. And this thing is getting kind of scary because I didn't really get any hazards up with this thing whatsoever, and I just don't really have anything else to take the hit. I can go into Drudagon, and if it is a Specs one, I'm assuming I can take it from here. It's probably not going to be that well. I would say this is a misclick, like just me not paying attention to what I'm doing, but I have the screen in front of me. I honestly assumed I was going to be able to take that Fire Blast better, or he was just going to switch out, period. And as a result, I try to go for sub. He sees right through my shenanigans and just takes me out with 2 Fire Blasts in a row. So could I have played that better? Yeah, I could have gone for just the Dragon Claw. Could have risked the Flame Body, but it would have taken him out. So I get to go into my Ampharos now, at least, which is definitely the MVP of this game, Drudagon being a close second, because this is my special defensive wall. Get to start setting up, or at least trying to, with the Cotton Guard. I can't go for Charge Beam on this thing, but I can go for Hidden Power Ices and just gradually whittle away at it. I've set up in a Golem's face before, and I've had it work out, because Cotton Guard does give you +3 in the defense. It only takes 1 Cotton Guard on the switch and 1 more in whatever is trying to hit you. Whatever is trying to hit you's face is what I'm trying to say. But it only takes that and you're up to +6. But unfortunately, he does have Dragon Tail on this thing. I don't know if ground types can get static. I know that Dragon Tail is a contact move. I'm pretty sure it can, but I'm not 100% on that. Anyways, I go for a Hone Claws right here because I'm like, well, I probably gonna end up getting Dragon Tailed out this turn anyways. Could I have gone for an Iron Head? Yeah, I just didn't really want to waste the life or recoil on that, and I thought he was just gonna phase me out, but he ends up getting a crit on the Earthquake, which I honestly kind of deserve, or I kind of deserve getting hit by a crit, and he kind of deserves getting a crit because he missed the Fire Blast on my Quillfish and took all that unnecessary damage on that. What did I end up taking out Magmortar with? No, I still haven't taken it out yet, now that I think about it. Or have I? I don't think so. But on top of that, I hit every single one of my Dragon Tails, which is kind of a feat in myself. So, moving on. At least this thing's sturdy is broken to the point where it doesn't even get it back after lefties, which is why I'm going to try to go for an Earth Power with this thing. I am at risk of an Earthquake, a Stab Earthquake, if it doesn't take him out. But I have a Stab Earth Power hitting it on its weaker defensive side. And it works out, because I just ended up taking him out flat out. But I have lost my Phaser. I could get my Rocks up around here if I really wanted to. And I think some Toxic Spikes as well. But he just ended up going for a Fire Blast right here. Well, I should have expected this thing to outspeed me. I think the thing I wasn't expecting is how much damage it's doing. God damn. Thankfully, it doesn't take me out, though, because I am at full HP. It's not super effective or anything, and I just end up knocking him out with an Earth Power. So even if he did miss, or even if he did hit that first Fire Blast, I'm pretty sure Earth Power would have done a good amount, if not taken him out completely. So, moving on. We got Munchlax in the building. I'm just going to go ahead and get some semi-late game Rocks up. I know there's not really much I can do about it, but I was kind of expecting him to phase me out with the Whirlwind around. Now, gets another crit. Thankfully, doesn't get the process, though. The last thing I can do is I could try to go for the Dragon Tail, predicting his Whirlwind, or I could just go for the Earth Power to try to get some last-ditch damage going on here, because I think he does still have Rocks up. Not sure if they'll be able to knock me out. I don't remember, but hey, a little bit of damage off. So, get to go into my Cryogonal. I have this and Ampharos left, so between this and the 2 or 3 things he has left, I'm gonna have to play this kind of carefully. So I go for Rapid Spin, and I think he has Whirlwind, or he hasn't gone for it yet, but he will end up showing me Whirlwind. I realized that in order to set up with Ampharos and to actually be able to do something about the rest of this game, I have to sack this thing right now. Otherwise, he's just going to be able to phase me out of it, as he's done right here. So I end up going for an Ice Beam. I know it's not going to do much because of thick fat. I just had to burn the turn. And he ends up bringing this thing back in because there are only 2 pokes left on my side. I'm not going to start setting up yet, though. I'm going to go back out into my Cryogonal and hope that he just ends up going for the Body Slam to knock it out. I mean, I did spin away the rocks. It doesn't really matter at this point what this thing does. It maybe could have been a little more useful earlier in the game. I just didn't really find an opportunity for it. But at least the rocks are gone, so that lets this thing come in safely. And I'm going to start setting up in this thing's face. He now realizes at this point that I have no other pokes, and I'm going to be able to get away with this. But this is Cotton Guard, Charge Beam, HP Ice, and Rest. Naturally, my just main modus operandi here is going to be the Charge Beam, just because he does resist the HP Ice. And, yeah. So, we're setting up with Charge Beam. I don't know if I got a boost on that one. I forget how many boosts I end up getting overall. But he ends up switching out in this thing. This is Special Defensive, which explains how I take this Bug Buzz so nicely. I'm going to go for an HP Ice right here. It does not take him out, but I can take him out with another one. And I know that his last thing left on his team is Munchlax, and I'm not taking anything from the Body Slams. If he got a crit right there, probably would have been game over. But I'm at like 150, 160 HP, so I know I can just rest it off on this next turn. And although this does seem pretty tedious, it did have the potential to be pretty tedious. But it's actually kind of effortless right here, because as you can see, he's only doing 4 more than my lefties is giving back to me. So I can rest off the para, and I can just, you know, kind of stall out those 2 turns here. This could be boring, but I don't know. I found it kind of interesting at the time, because I actually got to use this thing for a second time. It's a really fun set. Anyways, as you can see, he decides to rest off the turn before I wake up, if I'm not mistaken, and I just get to beat him up while he's asleep with some Charge Beams. We can actually see how much Charge Beam is doing here, which is really cool. It starts out at 55. He's starting to go for Sleep Talks. Charge Beam after the next special attack boost is going to do like 72. I don't know what damage variations look like on these, but Charge Beam will keep increasing. Most likely it does have a pretty good chance to boost my special attack, and I keep getting it. So on that next one, it does like 100. I think I'm at like +3 or +4. I don't remember. But Body Slam is going to have static take effect again, and it leads to a cripple turn where absolutely nothing happens. I just thought it was pretty funny. But Go for another charge beam. This one does around 100. I kind of feel like I got the low end on that one because I did around the same amount last turn. But he gets paralyzed right there, so he can't stall me out of rests, or he can't stall me out of charge beams. And on top of that, I get a crit on the last turn, which was probably not needed, but it was still kind of cool to end the Munchlax like that. Anyways, that was, oh my god, Ampharos, you are awesome. Anyways, that was an interesting game, I thought, which is why I backed it up. I hope you guys liked it too. If you did, you are more than welcome to leave a like rating, comment, and subscribe, and do your thing. And that'll do it for me for today. I gotta record some more TCGO later. I do have 2 or 3 new decks to try for you guys. I'm gonna see if I can get some good games with them either tomorrow morning or just throughout the week. We'll see what we have going on. And then turn a reminder once again, if anyone does want to go to that, just inbox me and I'll let you know on the directions and stuff like that. But that'll do it for me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.